Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to our channel. As always, it's me Ivan, and today we'll be taking a look at the San Martin SN0138 in this newer purple colorway. This one is an homage to the Tudor Black BB54, and since I've already owned both the Chronos and the Octopus Kraken versions, I can tell you straight away that while the San Martin may not offer the best value for money, it's definitely the most refined and complete watch of the three. Guys, I bought this San Martin myself from the San Martin official store on AliExpress during one of their sales a couple of months ago. It normally sells for a little over $300 but if you're patient and wait for one of the bigger AliExpress sales, like the vacation sale that's starting in just a couple of days, you can usually pick one up for around $270, which I think is absolutely worth it. So if you end up being interested in buying one, make sure to check the description and the pinned comment below. I'll leave the links there along with a few discount codes to help you save a bit more. Now, before I tell you why I prefer this San Martin over the Chronos and the Octopus Kraken, let's first get the dimensions out of the way. The SN0138 comes with a 37mm case diameter, although the bezel itself measures 38. The lug-to-lug is 45.8mm, while the thickness comes in at 12.7. So the San Martin has pretty much the same dimensions as both the Chronos and the Octopus Kraken, except for being about 1.5 mm thicker. Whether that's a good or a bad thing really comes down to personal preference, but for me, it doesn't make much of a difference. On my 17cm or 6.7 inch wrist, the San Martin looks and feels fantastic. It's very comfortable, has plenty of wrist presence thanks to that gorgeous purple dial, and despite weighing 136 grams, it never feels heavy or cumbersome. As for the design, guys, there really isn't much to talk about. Once again, this is a Tudor Black BB54 homage. And while I don't own a BB54, I do have my 41mm Black Bay here, so you can get an idea of just how closely the San Martin follows Tudor's design language. And if you take a closer look, you also notice the excellent build quality and finishing that San Martin watches are known for. That said, to be completely fair, I think the Chronos and the Octopus Kraken are finished to a similarly high standard, so there's really not much separating the three in that regard. Where the San Martin does pull ahead is the bracelet clasp. It simply looks better and creates a much more seamless overall design. Don't get me wrong, the clasp used by Chronos and Octopus is perfectly good. I have it on several other watches and have absolutely no complaints, but I do think that San Martin's clasp is more aesthetically pleasing. Speaking of the Octopus Kraken, there is one thing you should keep in mind. There is a noticeable gap between the bracelet and the clasp, and to me, it just doesn't look particularly nice. In fact, that's probably the main reason why I would choose the San Martin over the Octopus. Another area where the San Martin has the edge is the bezel action. It's a little lighter than the other two, but it's smoother, clickier, and at least to my ears, it sounds better as well. That said, the bezel action on both the Chronos and the Octopus are still very good, so I definitely wouldn't base my buying decision on that alone. Guys, I would like us to take a close look at the dial next. If you've been following the channel for a while, then you already know that I'm a big fan of colorful dials, especially watches with red accents, and over the last year or two, orange and purple dials as well. So you could say that the dial is the biggest selling point of this San Martin for me. It's a beautiful shade of purple that changes depending on the lighting conditions. Sometimes it looks more vibrant, other times a little darker, but either way, it pairs perfectly with the beautifully polished gilt hands and applied indices. And as you would expect, they're generously filled with Superluminova BGW9, which you'll get to see for yourselves at the very end of the video. Last but not least, let's talk about the movement. This model now comes equipped with the Seagull ST2130, a movement that I've owned in several watches over the years, and it's been completely reliable for me. But to be fair, I can say exactly the same about the PT5000 found in the Chronos and the Octopus Kraken. Guys, if I'm not mistaken, this San Martin used to come with the Seiko NH35, so I do see the switch to the ST2130 as a nice little upgrade. It beats at 4 Hz, has a smoother sweep, and overall I think it's a more fitting movement for a watch in this price range. So there you have it everyone, I think the San Martin SN0138 is the best Black Bay 54 homage I've come across so far, although the Chronos and the Octopus Kraken aren't far behind. In fact, if value for money is your top priority, I would probably point you towards the Chronos, while the Octopus Kraken sits somewhere in between. The truth is, you really can't go wrong with any of these three. Personally though, I would still choose the San Martin. The colorful dial options are a big selling point for me. I prefer the cleaner looking clasp, and I actually don't mind the slightly thicker and heavier case. Those are all things that suit my personal taste a little better. But hey, that's just my opinion, and now I would love to hear yours, so let me know in the comments which one you would pick and why. Thank you very much for watching everyone, I really appreciate you sticking around until the end. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a like and subscribe to the channel for more watch reviews. I've got another AliExpress watch coming to the channel next week, so stay tuned for that. Until then, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.